A deafening crash of hail against the windshield was the only warning Daniel received before he slammed the brakes, heart pounding as he stared at the shattered branches scattering across the road. He was a CEO, a man used to controlling everything, yet in that moment the storm owned the world. And that's when he saw Hira Small, curled up beside a fallen tree, her little hands covering her head while icy hailstones pelted her back. She looked no older than 7. He didn't think. He moved. And what she whispered to him later broken bar, that was the moment Daniel's entire world shifted forever. My mom used to tell me about you, a broken bar. Those words would change everything. But to understand why, you have to start at the beginning. Daniel Hale was known in the corporate world as the ice-cold CEO who built Hale Tech from nothing. But the truth was far from cold. He was a single dad raising his 5-year-old son, Noah. Ever since losing his wife, Ma, in a car crash 3 years earlier, behind his polished suits and calculated decisions was a man constantly trying to balance board meetings with bedtime stories, profit reports with tiny hands tugging at his pant leg asking for help opening a juice box. Every morning he dropped Noah at his mother-in-law's house before diving into a day full of deadlines. He wasn't perfect, but he was desperately trying to make life stable for his little boy. The day of the storm started like any other. Daniel had a presentation to deliver to investors, one that could make or break the next expansion of his company. If it succeeded, it would guarantee Noah's future. If it failed, everything would be uncertain again. The pressure weighed on him, but he hid it behind a confident smile. Noah had hugged him tightly that morning, whispering, "Daddy, don't be late today." Daniel promised he wouldn't. He meant it. He always meant it. But life, as he learned too many times, didn't care about promises. The weather forecast had said light rain. Instead, the sky broke open with brutal force around noon. While Daniel was midway through his presentation, winds howled, windows rattled, hail the size of golf balls hammered the ground. Everyone was told to stay inside. After the meeting ended, Daniel received a call. His mother-in-law was stuck across town due to the storm. Noah was alone at her house. Panic washed through him. He rushed out, ignoring warnings, because nothing in the world mattered more than getting to his son. Visibility dropped to nearly zero as he drove. It felt like the storm was trying to push him off the road. That's when he spotted a glint of yellow through the blur of white hailstone as a tiny raincoat collapsed on the side of the road. Daniel didn't hesitate. He jumped out of the car, the hail slamming into his back like stones thrown by an angry sky. When he reached the girl, she wasn't crying. She was shaking so violently she couldn't speak. Daniel scooped her into his arms, shielding her with his body as he ran back to the car. She clung to his shirt, tiny fingers gripping tightly, as if she knew this man was her only chance. Inside the car, he turned the heater on full blast. "What's your name?" he asked gently. She blinked up at him with wide hazel eyes. "Lily," she whispered, voice trembling. "Where's your mom, Lily?" The question made her lip quiver. "I don't know. Yeah, broken bar. I lost her in the storm." Daniel's chest tightened. He knew the fear of losing someone. He knew how it broke parts of you didn't even know existed. He dialed emergency services, but the line was overloaded. Roads were being closed. People trapped. The storm had become a disaster. He looked at Lily, drenched and shaking in the passenger seat, and made a decision. "I'll find her, I promise, but first I need to get you somewhere safe." As he drove toward Noah, Lily spoke only once more, quietly. "My mom, a broken bar. She always told me stories about an angel who protects people when storms come." Daniel smiled at her through the anxiety. "That's a nice story." She shook her head and stared at him, her voice small but steady. She said his name was Daniel. The breath caught in his chest. What were the odds? Coincidence? Something more? He didn't know. But the moment she said his name, something inside him shifted like a missing piece had just clicked into place. He reached his mother-in-law's house to find Noah safe but scared. The little boy immediately rushed to Lily, offering her his blanket without hesitation. She smiled weakly, and for the first time, Daniel saw a spark of warmth in her frightened eyes. They stayed there until the storm weakened enough for search teams to begin looking for Lily's mother. But hours passed, Search after search. Night fell. Noah fell asleep holding Lily's hand, and Daniel felt a knot in his stomach tightening with every minute that passed. By morning, authorities arrived with news no one wanted to deliver. Lily's mother had been found a broken bar, but she hadn't survived the storm. Daniel broke the news slowly, kneeling beside the girl as she clutched Noah's blanket. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She simply laid her head against Daniel's chest, whispering through her tears. She said you'd come. She said if she couldn't be here, you would protect me. The weight of her words crashed into him harder than the storm ever had. This child had no one now, no relatives, no home, but she had somehow been told about him, told to trust him, told he would come, whether fate or coincidence. Daniel couldn't walk away from her. In the days that followed, Daniel took care of Lily while authorities processed paperwork. She bonded with Noah instantly. They laughed together, ate together, even fought like siblings over crayons. Daniel watched them, feeling something unfamiliar but comforting blooming in his chest. For years he had worked endlessly, thinking success would fill the emptiness after losing his wife. But sitting there, watching Noah teaching Lily how to draw a dinosaur, he realized that this was what filled the emptiness: family, connection, love. When social workers finally asked what would happen to Lily, Daniel heard his own voice answer before his mind even caught up. She'll stay with us. The decision was natural, almost inevitable. He didn't need time to think. He knew the universe had placed her in his path for a reason, and he wasn't letting her go. Months later, Daniel adopted Lily officially. The judge asked her if she wanted Daniel to be her father. Lily smiled, the first full smile he had ever seen on her face. He already is. Daniel's throat tightened as he hugged her, Noah wrapping his arms around them both. The three of them forming a new family forged through loss, courage, and unexpected love. And yet, the moment Daniel would remember for the rest of his life came that night, as he tucked Lily into her new bed. She looked up at him with those same hazel eyes from the storm and whispered, "My mom said angels don't always have wings. Sometimes they come in cars during storms." Daniel kissed her forehead, tears in his eyes. Maybe she was right. He turned off the light, leaving the door slightly open the way she liked, and stood there for a moment of breathing, feeling, understanding. Life had taken so much from him, but it had also given him a chance to save someone, to love again, to heal. In rescuing Lily, Daniel hadn't just saved the child from a storm. She had saved him from the one inside his heart. And in the end, that was the real miracle.